What's up, everybody? Welcome to Snail Mail. This is a fun episode where I want to say Jimmy and I get to relax and throw our hair back, but like it's a little bit more relaxing.
It's more low key.
Low key, yeah.
For sure.
We get to goof around a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. We already goof around quite a bit. But anyways, Friday episodes that we're starting to do where we get to chat with everybody out there. And sort of, you guys get to call into our voicemail hotline, which the number is phone number 916-345-4744.
It's been a while since you've said that, huh? Had to struggle to remember.
I started thinking halfway through it. I was like, wait, is that the Morphlate customer service line?
What's our complaint line?
The complaint line. Oh, geez. 408-800
5169
408-800-51. That sounds right.
5169, I think. Yeah,
I think so. We may have to go listen to an episode real quick, or like just grab an audio slice of
us saying it at some other point.
Yeah.
Or the complaint.
Or the complaint line saying it. Yeah. I think that would work.
Perfect.
Yeah, man. There's some good stuff here. We have 22 voicemails now.
Oh my gosh.
I think they're coming in faster than we're going through them.
They are.
So
I think we started like at 12 and then you went on break.
Yeah.
And some came in during that period, but not a lot.
Not a whole lot.
And then all of a sudden we started snail mail up again and
they're flooded back in.
So, which is fantastic.
To credit though, I mean, there's
only 3 callers.
Yeah, there's only 3 callers. We have 22 voicemails. So
same person multiple times.
Yeah. We have a smorgasbord here from Zach from Oklahoma.
Yes. That's where I think we left off last was, we were looking at.
Yep. So what
what's Zach up to?
We'll see what Zach's got.
We did get an update from Zach on our 500th anniversary episode.
Yep.
The live one, which I have had requests for to be aired.
Yep.
So I might need you to dig and see if we can pull the audio out of that.
Maybe. Speaking of Zach, and maybe maybe he's explaining it a little bit here, but from the 500th episode, we talked about what was the resolution to your overheating.
His overheating. Water pump primarily.
And
I
think that's what we're getting down to, water pump. But I recently on the Forerunner.
Yes.
Maybe we should. Never mind. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
Let's get into a voicemail from Zach, shall we? All right.
What's up, Jimmy and Tyler? Good afternoon. Good to hear y'all's voices together again. Congratulations, Tyler, on the new little rock crawler that came into this world. Things are good with the truck right now. Ish, sort of issue. Yeah, still going.
It's Kermit's too.
I haven't flushed it. Flushing it sounds like a good idea. I already put my dash back together, and I don't want to take it apart right now.
Yep.
But if I have to, I'll just do it again. As of radiator being full, it should be now. I'm not 100% sure if it was before, because I would open up the radiator cap, didn't see any liquid at the top. So it's probably low, but it should be good now, because I bled it after I did everything. No gargling behind the dash anymore, so that's a good thing. Issue's still persisting. So I think next step is to try and flush, see if anything comes out. And honestly, it probably would be a good idea to flush it anyways, because I've got like 228,000 miles. Oh no, actually it just flipped to 229,000 miles. So yeah, we up there in the miles. Maybe not as much as some, but anyways. So yeah, flushing it sounds like a plan. Also, I'd be totally down to strip out a dash over in Sacramento. I probably won't be able to go till 2025 though, because that's when I will be in that area, well, in that part of the country. I'll be over there for All Toyota Fest 2025. Y'all should be there. Bring y'all's rigs out. I think it'll be fun. Well, yeah. Also, that game that you were talking about sounds like Stardew Valley. It is a good game. I don't have a Switch to be able to play it. I have a PS4. But I'm on the way to go get some magic cards at the store. So y'all keep crawling. Catch y'all later.
Thanks, Zach.
That's funny.
So Stardew Valley, I'm still playing it.
You are?
I'm on year 2.
Okay.
You have 28 days, and once you go roll over to 29, it just becomes another season. So you have 28 days of spring, 28 days of summer, 28 days of fall, 28 days of winter, and then you just start a new year.
What is it doing?
So you're a farmer.
Oh, okay.
But there's all kinds of, but it's not Farmville. Yeah, it's the farming one. But there's a cave and you can go mining, and there's a bunch of rivers out, and you go fishing, and you're just living your life on this valley, in Stardew Valley. But there's a lot of really small things to the game which make it fun. It's not just like planting crops, growing crops. Yay, my day's done.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you can do during one day that you run out of time. Like the day rolls over. Okay. And if you stay up until 2 a.m, you just fall asleep wherever you are. And then you end up back in your bed, and usually there's a note at your mailbox.
Sounds like the beer festival.
Yeah, right. There's a note in your mailbox saying so-and-so found you. And I hope there was somebody like crouched over you digging through your pockets. I hope you have all your belongings still, and do you
lose some of your belongings sometimes?
Every single time. So
funny.
if you run out of energy in the mine and you pass out, you lose some gold or some items that you're carrying. If you fall asleep because it's past 2 a.m, you fall asleep and you lose some money and some items. But it's fun. I mean, there's a lot of random things. But Zach, just so you know, it's not only for the Switch. We started playing it on the Switch, but now I have it on my cell phone.
Oh, geez.
It's also a PC game, so I'm assuming it's also on Xbox and PS4 and everything as well.
Cool.
So check it out.
Nice.
It's fun.
Yeah. So it sounds like he's getting to the bottom of the radiator.
You want to talk trucks? Or magic cards?
Whatever.
We can go to magic cards.
I know nothing about magic cards.
I collected and played magic cards when I was younger.
Gotcha.
I
collected and played Pogs.
Pogs were interesting. I was older than that at that stage, but I have my step brother-in-law.
Okay.
Plays Magic this day, and I pulled out some of my old Magic cards because I still have them, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like these are the third version or whatever. They're like the classics." And he's like, "Yeah, you want any?"
Dude.
Go ahead, dig through them, take them, whatever, man. I don't care.
Nice.
But yeah, the radiator seems to be happening. Does he call? He calls back immediately. Two more times. So maybe we should just jump into those and see if he concludes his own story here.
What was the Toyota event he was saying?
Yeah, never heard of that one. 2025 All Toyota Fest or something.
You didn't. That's what I heard. All Toyota Fest 2025, and Google wrote it as "I'll be over for alternative about 2025."
Perfect.
So
yeah, it's an event I've never heard of yet.
I haven't either.
There is that big event that happens out in Yuba City, the NorCal Toyota Fest.
Oh, that's in Woodland.
Oh, Woodland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that one. I haven't been a big fan of that one.
I didn't go last year because it ran into some family stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Maybe that's the one he's talking about. I don't know. Which one, Zach? Let us know.
Yep. Call back.
All right. So next one from Zach. Let's see what he says. Whoops. Backed out of it. All right. Here we go.
What's up? One more thing before I forget. This is a PSA to go out to anybody that works on their vehicle. Be sure to put the clamps on the hoses, or all the liquids that go through that hose will leak out of your vehicle. I learned this the hard way. After I put my water pump back on, I put all the hoses back on, I forgot to put the hose that goes to the throttle body. I forgot to put the clamp on the hose that goes to the throttle body. And for 2 weeks, I was leaking coolant all over the streets and having to fill up the reservoir at least once every couple drives or so. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare because I wasn't sure what would happen. I've replaced the hoses thinking they were bad. Turns out it was just a clamp that I forgot to put back on. I changed the hoses anyways, because might as well. It's old truck anyways. But yeah, remember to put the clamps on. Nothing's leaking now that I've done that, so thought my throttle body was bad for a second. But anyways, you'll have a good day. Keep crawling.
Clamps are important.
They are very important.
PSA.
Yep. Thank you for letting us know that. Yes, that is an excellent PSA.
Yeah.
I was gonna go as far as saying maybe that's why his radiator was also a little low on coolant.
That would be
I mean, it could have been because of his water pump was leaking also.
Maybe, yeah.
But my guess is that, and maybe he'll go into it on the next one here, that because he was low on fluid, his heater wasn't working. That's my guess.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well. So let's see. I think he actually does give a little update here on that.
Okay,
so
great.
What's up, Jimmy and Tyler? It's Zach from Oklahoma again. I ran a little test this morning on my heating system right before going to work. And there seemed to become more heat coming in without having to put my foot on the pedal. Now, it is getting into the summer months here in Oklahoma, and I'm probably arrested everywhere else, but I don't know. That might have something to do with it. The real test will have to be when it's like freezing outside, which that probably won't happen until like November, December for us, at least. Maybe the issue's sort of solved. Maybe whatever was blocking moved on through the system, which could be bad later on. So yeah, a flush might be needed for sure. It could just have thinned it out enough for it to flow better or something. I don't know. So that's I guess a tiny update. Y'all have a good Monday and whatever day y'all listen to this on. I don't know what that day will be, but have a good day on that day too. Y'all keep crawling. See ya.
Welcome to our world.
Yes.
Podcast
time travel.
Exactly. My guess is low fluid is the main answer. I still think a flush would be worth doing.
Yes, absolutely. I do as well. What did he say? The 7th month?
The 7 months of summer. 7 months.
Oh, is that what he meant?
I think that's
okay.
how I
was
took
like,
it.
what? Yeah. 7 months of winter, maybe, because that's when he needs the heater.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I was like 7th months. I was like, where's he going with this? He had called in a few weeks ago. It's not month 7 yet.
Yeah. I would venture to say if you've got more heat coming through right now, kind of as we're transitioning seasons, that's already a big indicator, and the slightly higher temperatures outside is less of an issue, a change to the system.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
Good. Thanks for calling back, Zach, and keeping us informed of your saga and your heating issue and what's going on there, trying to get heat into the cab, which hasn't been working.
Yep.
Maybe, I mean, I know you've been ripping apart the dash, but maybe check those vents now too to see if they're connected. Right.
Yep. Because that's my problem.
Yeah. That's Tyler's issues.
Yes.
Cool. Well, what we got next? I think we got some more time for some more call-ins.
Yeah, we got our stripper.
Oh, good.
Yep. Our stripper is calling in. Maybe he's got something to say about clear coating.
Oh, probably.
Clear coating.
He would know a thing or two.
He would know a thing or two about rust protection and plating. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hey guys, it's Reid, your favorite stripper. Listening to 493. Tyler, it's nice to have you back. On fixing the shop trailer. Anyways, my fiance is a speech language pathologist and has a doctorate in that field. And what you are explaining is what is called expressive speech. And so a child's mind doesn't have the capability to comprehend what any of that means until around age 2. That means you can say, all the bad words, they're not going to know what that means, just like how you have to teach them what a picture of a cow is, and that is a cow. So, you can play it safe in a year and a half, or listen to the better half. I don't know. But, yeah, expressive speech is fun, and it's expressive. So, yeah, have a good fucking day.
I love Reid.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, so they don't know exactly what's going on speech-wise. They're not comprehending what the words actually mean, kind of a scenario until round 2, supposedly, is what he's saying. Yeah, okay. It like you
for
might
expressiveness.
For expressiveness, yeah.
But you can teach them that like this is a spoon and this is milk and this is food.
Exactly. And I think you can teach them in regards to what things are, and they get it, and they can talk about that. They'll start talking about like, oh, I want to eat something, but they wouldn't understand if you're dropping an F-bomb in the middle of it, they won't know that is a good word or a bad word, or how they should use it properly.
Correct.
Until around 2 is when they start understanding that.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's
okay.
Cool. More great tips of words of wisdom from Reid.
Yep. Thanks, Reid. Appreciate the call in.
Next one. Transcript not available. It's a number I don't have saved.
Ooh, I'm ready. These are fun ones.
But he did call back.
Oh.
Right away. I think he got cut off.
Oh, good.
It's a long one. And it's Justin from Texas. So see what Justin has got to say.
How do you know that? It's no transcription.
Because he called back.
Oh, there's transcription on the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, it goes, hey, this is Justin again?
Yep.
From Texas?
Yep.
All righty, Justin, bring it on.
Here we go.
Hey, guys, this is Justin in Texas. Thought I'd share a fun little story for you of a trail repair I had to do this week. I live in the Austin area, so there's nothing to do around here, but 3 times a year I make it to Arkansas, to the Washington National Forest or Ozarks, or to New Mexico or Colorado and explore and have fun out there. This week I was supposed to be in New Mexico off-roading and camping for the week. Got there on Monday, had a great Monday night, and then Tuesday exploring. Suddenly my steering wheel starts spinning, and I get out, figure out what's going on. My front wheel has flopped, and figure out my upper control arm has come apart. It's an aftermarket one. It's an Icon tubular Delta joint one. And apparently last time I serviced it, I think most upper control arms, you Loctite on. This one, you have to, when you service it, you have to loosen it every oil change every 5,000 miles so you can lube it and then torque it back to 85 foot-pounds, I think it is. Anyway, apparently last time I did that, I did not torque it properly because here I am 15 miles up a unmaintained forest road, and my nut has vibrated off the upper control arm pivot point there.
I hate it when you lose your nuts.
It flops there, and I was not able to find that, lost the nut and all the bushings on that side that routed out before the whole thing came apart. So that was fun. I ended up, here's a innovative trail repair that I was proud of myself for. Unfortunately, I had 2 jacks. One had a high lift so I could put that on the slider to get the truck up, and then I had a bottle jack to raise the wheel assembly piece, the hub and rotor, I don't know what you call that bit. Anyway, after I had the wheel off, so I could get it all lined and get it put back together just without a nut or bushings. In my spares kit, I had some spare hose sections from previous vehicle, which I was able to cut a couple of those, nest them together, and have a kind of improvised bushing. And then I stole a washer from I think the high lift jack mount, because the washer on the end of that was missing. And then apparently that nut is unique to that part. It is, I'm told it's M14 with a 1.0 pitch. I pulled off probably 10 other nuts from the vehicle to see if it would fit and replace that. It's like a place where I see there was, 2 bolts holding something on that I could live with just one for get back to town. Nothing else fit. So my improvised trail repair there was to use a couple of hose clamps on the end of the bolt to hold it on. Obviously, was not able to get the thing snug at all, but at least it held it together while I
Well, you ran out of time. All right, continue on.
He called right
Smart,
back.
though. That's a clever one. Yeah.
I have a similar repair we can talk about.
I have an interesting idea.
Hey, it's Justin from Texas again. Sorry, I forgot the voicemails are limited time. I was rambling. Anyway, lived made it back to pavement, back to the closest town, which is Reid, New Mexico. Could not find the appropriate nut at any hardware store or auto parts store. So the closest Toyota dealer is in Roswell, so that's like 70 miles away. Called there, finally got them to find the right part and order it for overnight. So, knowing my repair was kind of iffy, I figured it would probably fail at some point. Didn't want it to fail at 70 miles an hour and end up causing catastrophe. So I drove all the way to Roswell from Rio at maximum of about 15 or 20 miles an hour.
Wow,
made it.
70
had
miles.
to replace the hose clamps once where it was starting to come apart, but got it put back together. Got the part the next day, and got put back together. I just need to replace the bushings, so I've got that on order. Hopefully that will be an easy thing, and I guarantee that is going on my checklist before I go on a trip again. Is to double check those nuts on the upper control arms. Anyway, hopefully someone can learn from my mistakes. Have a good day. Bye.
Check your nuts.
Yes.
Everybody, PSA, another PSA for today. Check your nuts.
Yeah. The whole time he was talking, I took it as the ball joint, more or less, on the end of the upper control arm is what broke.
That's what I was taking it as the giant bolt,
the pivot
bolt.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I couldn't tell which one he was talking about. So.
Yeah. I was second guessing myself as well. So I'm not entirely sure which one fell out, but it's a good creative fix.
Yeah.
Hose clamps definitely work. You can crank those down nice and tight for sure. In my mind, I was thinking my replacement or solution was drill a hole through the bolt. And put a cotter pin in there.
Ah, that's a smart one.
If you had those things, that's would have been a good solution as well. And then you could have done a cotter pin and the hose clamp, and put the cotter pin a little further down. But yeah, that's a good one. When he was talking, I thought he was talking about the delta joint coming apart, though the ball joint, the nut at the bottom of the ball joint falling off, and the spindle dangling around, and the upper control arm still attached to the vehicle.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's the same solution in a way.
Yep.
But yeah, good job. Good fix. Thanks for the update, and glad you drove safely the 70 miles.
Yeah. I had I lost a nut on one of my leaf spring shackles on Fordyce.
Okay.
1 year.
Yeah.
And we noticed it, and I was like, oh my God, I have no nut on that bolt right there. That's holding my leaf springs to the vehicle.
I remember this. Yeah.
And so what we ended up doing was, I think we put zip ties around the bolt and then a ton of duct tape just to create like this stopper, a blockage to keep the bolt from falling out. And then we checked it every 1/10 of a mile.
Yeah, right.
Something like that. Stop just to get out and look at it. Okay, it's still there.
Right. Yeah.
So it made it all the way back to camp. And then I got a ride into town. I think I got a ride into town to grab a nut.
Sweet.
But it's and stuff like that happens. And, you just got to, the big thing that you need to do is make sure that the nut is on the bottom side of whatever bracket you're bolting into your hardware, right? That way, if the nut is on the top side, the nut comes off, the bolt falls out, which is a very bad thing.
Yes.
So that's the first thing you do is make sure your nut is on the bottom side of whatever you're working on. And then the second thing is find a way to jam that bolt in there and keep it from falling out.
You're right. Yeah. Usually whenever I'm working on a vehicle and I'm second guessing on how something's going to go together, I always think about like, okay, if this came apart, what would save it from like completely destroying itself? And how would you position the bolt so that it like, wouldn't completely fall off? So like on the ball joint, right? The bottom of the ball joint's pointing down. So if the nut does come off, the shaft of the ball joint still through the spindle. Yeah. So it's not going to completely come apart immediately. It'll probably spring apart at some point. Yeah. But it's still together, even though the nut would have been off of it. So, yeah. I was talking with Bailey Cole. Okay.
And one year when he ran the Baja 1000 in, I think it was the Gladiator.
Okay. Yeah.
They had a bolt for their steering so they had a crossover steering, right?
Sure.
They can't do full hydro, crossover steering. So they have the tie rod and the drag link, but it was like, it was
like a Y.
It was almost like a Y kind, not really a Y. I don't remember what it was, but what he ended up saying was that the bolt, that's what it was, holding on, the drag link comes down onto the knuckle, on the top of the knuckle, and then the tie rod is like in the middle of the knuckle. Right.
Okay.
And so it's right underneath, and you can a lot of times use the same bolt.
Got it.
To hold those together, right? On one side.
Sure.
Apparently they didn't for whatever reason. They had two different bolts, and the bolt holding the drag link on, they had the nut on top and the bolt underneath.
Yep.
And when they got to one of their pit stops, they realized they didn't have a nut anymore.
Oops.
And the only reason why the bolt was staying in place was because the tie rod was right underneath it and keeping the bolt from falling out.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, so we took everything apart and flopped that bolt over to the top. When we did it, they had to cut it short. Apparently they put it in because it was too long coming in from the top. So they cut it short there and put a new nut on it and everything.
I have that problem all the time.
Right. Yeah. Too long. And yeah. So anyways, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. Thanks for calling in, Justin.
Yeah. Good to hear a new voice, new number calling in. That was awesome.
We got time for one more, maybe?
Sure. Why not?
All right. We got Donny. Donny calling in, our Rover Don.
We'll find out if this goes into a series. Does this fall into a series of things? Like, look, when's his... No, there's a while before his next call in.
2 days before the next call in.
Okay. So. We'll close out here with Donald.
Donny. All right, here we go.
Jimmy!
Donny!
Your buddy Rover Don here.
Hi.
So I'm listening to you talk about running Pritchett, and I agree, that's a pretty tough trail. Got some good off-camber stuff, some good climbs. You know, it's a good trail. You say you pulled cable 3 times. Now, I'm thinking, let's see, a couple years ago when I ran that, you pulled it 3 times. That's 3 times more than I did. Huh. I don't know what to make out of that. It's like I don't even have to say it now. You know, I think you know. By the way, I do have to admit, Clifford nailed it on the gas mileage on the way back. That's about all. Have fun, guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Donnie. And it was 2 times.
2 times?
2 times.
Pulled cable?
I pulled cable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rocker knocker, I didn't end up pulling cable, but I was so flopped over and my rear tire was so far off the ground that they got a rope out.
Oh, to hold you down,
to pull me down. But as soon as they leveled out the weight, I drove out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pritchett is a game of wheel base.
Yeah.
Wheel length, wheelbase.
Wheelbase.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is 100% a wheelbase trail.
So is there a magic number on the wheelbase that works, or is it just like
the 80s were doing phenomenal and they're about 112?
Okay.
Bobcat's 123,
24, yeah,
5, somewhere in there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so that was it. Just wasn't my day. There was times when I was just trying to, like, the very first obstacle. I want to say it's up Chuck. I forgot what it is. Mm-hmm. Chuck something.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally just the way you go up it. I was just trying to climb 2 ledges at the same time. Where if you were shorter, one of your tires was up.
Yep.
You know, you would have been up and over one of those ledges while you're trying to climb the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So it really came down to be a battle of wheelbase.
Gotcha.
And yeah, there was only one person in our entire group that didn't pull cable at all the entire day. At some point, everybody else pulled cable.
Wow.
Plus, we were doing in a Cruise Moab event, and there was a three tries you're out.
Oh, true.
Rule.
Mm-hmm.
And so because they wanted to keep everybody moving throughout the trail.
Yep.
And there was something like 12 of us. So it was a fairly...
that many people on
Yeah,
Pritchett?
there was a big group.
Wow.
And so I think that, they just wanted to keep people moving. There wasn't multiple, like you can try multiple times. At the end, one of the hills I was trying, it just, like I could have tried 2 or 3 more times and maybe have made it. But by the time I got my 3rd time up and I was in a decent spot, I said, just hook the cable up. Like I'm in a good spot to start winching.
Yeah.
You know, or I would have had to back all the way down and attempt it again. So, you know, I don't know if it is a Toyota Rover thing. I think it's a wheelbase thing, but Rover Don did send me a video. I think he sent it to you as well, of some other Land Rovers going through it that are on like 33s and super small and just crazy. I would not want to do that trail in those rigs, but sort of the benefit of that is they are an extremely low center of gravity.
Moab, I found, is all about center of gravity, low center of gravity.
Where Bobcat is not. Bobcat is probably like the tallest truck out at Cruise Moab. So I think that's a big part of it as well.
And narrow Toyota axles too. I would have thought the Bobcat would have done awesome on Pritchett compared to, like, say, the 4Runner, just because of the longer wheelbase. I know there's a lot of big climbs in Pritchett. Yeah. But apparently it's not ledge climbs.
They're ledge climbs, and they're not straight up climbs. Yeah. They're off camber turning on a side hill climb.
Yeah. I don't like those.
No, you would have said, no, I'm turning around. I'm going to go down upchuck. I think it's called upchuck.
Okay.
You would have turned around and gone out after looking at how you need to do rocker knocker, or you would have just nosed up to it. You're supposed to drive up on the right side, and then you turn driver and you slide sideways. Yep. You would have drove up on the left side on driver side and just nosed up to it and said, all right, hook the winch up. Hook me up. Just pull me up. I'm not going off camera like that.
I don't know, man. It's the rig is so much more. It's infinitely more stable.
On
the wider axles now than the Toyota axles for sure. Like,
and that suspension, the 4-wheel underground suspension, keeping you level,
so stable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's so nice. I really want to get the 4Runner back to Moab. I want redemption on Moab Rim mainly, and Moab I want to do Pritchett
and Hell's Gate.
And Hell's Gate. Yeah, I need to do Hell's Gate too.
It'd be a lot eeasier, I think, with the wider axles on Hell's Gate.
I think it'd just be a lot easier on Hell's Gate doing it with dry ground.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So, and the different tires. I was trying to do Hell's Gate with the IROCs, and, trying to climb the sidewalls with IROCs. It just doesn't work out there.
It's a completely different vehicle now, which would be, I think it would be fun to go rerun some of the trails that we've done and just have you have an eye-open experience about how much, like, better it is, really. Yeah.
Cool, man. Good stuff. We're going to call it there for today.
Yeah.
I think we got through quite a bit. We got through five, six.
Yeah, 6, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. 3 from Zach, 2 from Greg.
Justin.
1 from Donny, and
1 from Reid.
Yeah. Wow. That was a big one.
Sweet.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy this, feel free to give us a like on YouTube if you're watching the video, or subscribe to the channel on Podcast Lands. Also, you can always call in and be a part of the show. Area code 916-345-4744.
That's it.
Leave us a voicemail, and we'll get to it eventually on the show.
There we go. So I guess without further ado, keep crawling, everybody. We'll see you next week.